My name is Salomon Anaya, and I represent submerged art. This is a house that we've just taken over. It's part of the city of Newark's abandoned homes. I wanted to do an installation, so I decided to use this home as a template for a squatter gallery. The house has character. It's this oddly placed home, and I felt as though it's a work of art in itself. The walls are crackling, so that it creates a texture that you could see it in an artistic form somehow. So I left it in the way that it sat when I first opened the door, pretty much. I didn't do any painting or anything like that. I just allowed lighting to sort of project what it's supposed to project. It's in pretty poor condition, but if the work is good enough, it shouldn't matter where the actual work is being displayed. It is four walls that can hold art and that could gather a congregation of people, and everyone could have their own input about what's inside on the walls. It's up to you to really think what is art or what isn't. It's just it. In the living room, what we have is a kayak without the skin. It's basically one of my kayaks that I decided to put in as an installation. I used this when I first moved to New York. I had a sailboat. I lived in a sailboat for 6 months. And I was sailing. I had that attached to my sailboat. I'd never learned how to sail before. Somehow I'm in the Hudson River trying to control two vessels. The kayak went down. It was submerged in the water. That's part of my whole thing. It's kind of a representation of me without anything to hold me back, just raw, like this raw space that we have here. There's a little radio, it's a weather radio report that I used to listen to when I was on a boat stranded.
Mostly sunny, and temperatures were between 54 and 59 degrees. Across Long Island, skies ranged from sunny to mostly sunny.
Now I know how to use it, but before then, didn't know a clue, and that's why I went through that whole process. This particular city, when I walked the streets, I walked for probably about 3 weeks through every single corner, looking over every building, and I noticed that there was a need for something. There was a need for some sort of art movement. Syringe needles everywhere, abandoned buildings. Art can change that. It changes people's perspective of how to see things. It gives us some sort of comfort. I think these times are really important for art to be out there at all time. So that's what I have to say about that.